chessboard. Doesn't look like a chessboard, looks like a football field to me, but anyway, that's the way it is. Trying the King's Gambit. Really shouldn't try this at home or away. That's all I can say. But d4, I think black should give a check on h4 or play d5. g5 looks like a really dubious move since now I get h4, and what I'm doing could actually make a whole lot of sense. d5 now. Well, that is nothing if not sensible. Take queen g5, I suppose. de, bishop f4 looks good for me. Apparently Dr. Boki has another opinion. It's a German, or he or she, I don't know. Let me see, knight c3 looks nice. If knight d4, I get knight b5. No, sorry, bishop b5. But here maybe I have knight b5 or d5. And this is not the board that they meant. That's the message that's ticking in. So another little goof from Tech Magnus. It's not what I do best. I move these little pieces around on a wooden or sometimes grassy chessboard, but the tech stuff, I don't know. Nah, I'm gonna keep this board. I like this board. Bishop d6, that is quite ingenious. Point is if takes, queen g3 is a serious threat, and it's not so clear how I'm gonna deal with that. So the doctor may have found a cure for his immediate problems. Well, I guess I'll just develop then. Position still should be very, very good. Knight e5, I get bishop b5 check. Bishop d7 at the very least drops e4. Although I may be looking for something more. Something along the lines of queen d4. If I didn't mention it already, by the way, I'm going to keep the football board at least for a little while. I mean, why not? So king f8, long castles, I guess. Bishop e2 takes away the best square for the knight on g1, but I'm not too worried about it. g4 looks very good. If bishop g6, queen d4 should be huge. Yeah, maybe he could have taken on g4, but he didn't do that. Now I think I'm just winning. I don't see how we can protect that knight on e5. c5 or c6 is simply met by dc, and the bishop is hanging on d6. Knight d3 looks like it might save black, but I simply go king b1, and then h8 is threatened, and the knight on d3 is also threatened, so I think he loses a piece. Ah, he has this and knight g8. Damn it, I didn't say that. Oh boy. That is a massive blow. So I could go knight h3, but I don't like that at all. Takes queen g5. It looks like he has serious counterplay with all sorts of stuff coming. So I guess I gotta take, get the queen out. Also, if queen g5 instead of taking, that was queen g7 followed by knight e4 because of yeah, the queen would be pinned. But yeah, I still have a huge advantage here. Knight e7, I got queen d7, so the queen is not trapped. That is, if you hadn't taken first, and he resigned because his time was running out. Okay, you might like Fight Like Magnus. I absolutely agree. I like Fight Like Magnus. Oh no, now I did scroll. I was told not to scroll. Ugh. Old bad habits die hard. Okay, this is gonna be a tough start. We got ourselves a Grandmaster now. Chain over. Sasa Martinovic. I played him before, no? I'm not supposed to play people I've played before. Okay. Knight f6 is a good reply to 1. d4, e6, e4. Take it. Knight f3, huh? Okay. g5. It's one of those positions where I think seeing an early g5 can actually be justified. Now I go d6. And let's grab some space. h5. Next up, I probably want to go knight c6, e5. Not to worry about knight b5. Now e5, if d5, knight e7. Bishop b5, probably just gonna go king d8. Also after knight b5, I'm going king d8. Right or wrong, I'm not so worried about losing the right to castle, because I still have plenty of other rights. Okay. Castles. That is one brave decision. He does not care about the pawn. Well, I do, so I'm gonna take it. And I'll take another one. Once again, don't try this at home. The usual disclaimer. He had knight d5. That was a bit of an embarrassing miss on my part. I think after knight d5 I would have been in some trouble. But now I'm more happy. Bishop h6 comes with tempo. I feel like I should be doing fine. Probably, objectively speaking, not too great, but in a practical game, all looks pretty nice. Bishop b5, I got king d7, trapping the knight. And if rook c1, I can first of all take it and then rook c8 later on. The knight is still not escaping. So it all looks quite promising at the moment. He has queen a4 then, though. Might not be too clear. Okay. Take the knight, no reason not to. Queen c5 is an issue. Maybe there is a reason not to. Queen e5? Can I do that? Rook d5? Is that dangerous? I take it. No, I don't think that's dangerous. It always worries me a bit, though, to play such moves. Oh, wait a second. I have queen c5? I just have bishop f4, no? Yeah, should be good. Yeah. That's all good. Just not to go queen c5, queen e5. Because he takes it, and it's a double pin, so I lose everything. Or at least my queen. Yeah, rook d5, king e7 looks nice. He could take on h5, but then I go rook c8, and I think I'll soon be taking over. Should be noted that also with my pawns in h5 and g4, his king isn't quite as safe as it may look. Yeah, but this doesn't work. I just take on d5, e d5, rook d8, and he has no threats. King f8 coming next, and I'm a bishop up, and the game will be over pretty soon. Take b2. Yeah, exchange rooks, why not? take it. King is escaping easily. And no worries in the world. And he resigned. Well, I have to say that was a fun game. Absolutely a fun game. Okay. So let me try this one. Palicka from Slovakia. Don't think I've played that guy before. So c5, let's try and play something a bit unusual. The b6 Sicilian. He goes bishop c4. He doesn't care about b6. Just wants to play his system. Which he is absolutely allowed to do. It's not a bad strategy. Queen e2, go knight f6. Always nice to develop a tempo. I'm not so crazy about his queen e2 move. Would have preferred d3 immediately. In the openings, it's often a good idea to make the moves you're sure you're gonna make first, like d3, and then you don't know whether you want to put the queen on e2 or not, or whether you may want to put the rook on the e file instead, for instance. Maybe the queen is never going to e2 at all. So both moves looked nice, but let me try ed. I don't know exactly why. I felt like knight d5 was the most natural one, with I think a slight advantage. This one I'm a bit less sure about, but felt like trying something else. Next I'm looking at ideas of h6 and then all of that stuff. So d4, I'm not so sure about that one. I think I'll take it. Maybe it's not as stupid as it looks. With all due to respect to my opponent, I think it does look pretty stupid. So yeah, bishop a4 is nice. Huh. Okay, let me try h6. If he takes, I take back and protect the pawn with tempo, which is always something you want to do. And I cannot really see a way to get an initiative here. So maybe his concept was pretty good. Rook e8. In case of bishop c6. Bishop c6, knight d4. I was planning bishop c5, hitting the queen with tempo. He would still go queen d3 and be okay, but I had to do something, so that's what I was planning to do. Let me see. Not sure I like my position here. I think Palicka has been doing very well so far. Okay, knight e4. Why not? So the guy's rated 1800 and he probably has a better position against me now. I don't like that. I want to win. And not only does he have a good position, his position is also very safe. So a lot of danger signs for me here. But worst comes to worst, I guess I'll try and flag him. Don't think he should have exchanged that one. I believe there's still something to the good knight versus bad bishop theory. Although bishops are usually better, even sometimes better than supposedly good knights, but yeah, I think in this case it may have been a good knight against the bad bishop. So now my position is a bit better. A3, I got D4. I'm maybe gaining some initiative now. Oh, Queen C4, I didn't see that. Huh. Yeah, I guess I'll take it. Rook E2. Rook C1, I go D3. B4 I take on C2. C4 is hanging, so I'm winning a pawn. Knight to A4 probably. C3 later on. D3 is running. And yeah, winning. But it wasn't easy by any means. This guy played extremely well. Have to say, now I'm winning everything. Knight is hanging on D6 with check. I'm getting the rook, and that's just way too much material. But anyway, good game, and played so much better than his rating. Okay, let me try another 3-minute game against, this time against somebody from Poland. I'm not gonna pronounce his or her name because I don't know how to do that. Let me try flank opening. Playing out from the back in football terms. So this is how Jabava usually plays. Then you play b3, you play bishop b2, and then you start pushing stuff on the king side, as far as I know. But how? How does he do it? h3? Looks really stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna try and be a bit provocative here. Usual disclaimer, don't try this at your friend's house. Yeah, h6 was perhaps a bit slow. Maybe he should have tried something else there, because now I got kind of a pleasant position. This I like, and believe it or not, I may actually be getting a positional advantage. I think I'm not going to take on g6 anytime soon. I feel like that knight on e5 is going to be pretty good. So no need to rid him of his potentially out of play bishop. If he goes knight e4 now, I think I'm going to go h4. Also, yeah, I was wondering about queen f3, but that looks a bit too fancy. Queen b6, knight c3, developing with tempo. Not developing with tempo, but protecting a piece and developing. So that's kind of developing with tempo, no? Probably stretching the term a bit, but anyway. Now I get to take knight a4, guess d3 next, and I feel very good about my position. Yeah, queen b5. Problem is that all his moves are very decent, but it's hard to see them connected with a plan. And now he is losing a pawn, which, unless I'm missing something, should be fairly bad news for him. Now the question is, should I go c4 first to prevent him from going c4 himself and maybe getting some kind of activity? I don't really think I should, but I'll do it anyway. Just for fun. Ooh. dc4 I'm not sure I like. Maybe I could have gone bc4 actually. Then later e4 to shut out his bishop, because now his bishop does have some life. Rook d8. Not sure why he didn't just go castle. But, yeah. Knight b6, I got knight c5. Don't think there's a refutation here. Bishop f6, starting to look juicy. Probably bishop e5 first. Maybe bishop f6 at this point. Yeah, I'll go bishop f6 now. He has no moves with the rook along the d file. Rook d6 drops in exchange to bishop e5. Perhaps that was still his best chance, what he did. So wouldn't say he had any options like rook c8, long castles. Looked pretty horrible. And resigns. Okay, on to the next one. Okay. Let me try a young Norwegian Grandmaster. Fortunately, I got white in this game. Johan Sebastian, who I think is on a training camp now with another young, promising Grandmaster whose anonymity I'm going to keep. Let me see. G6. He's playing very quickly. Wow. That's what he's doing. D4. I kind of like my position now. I feel like I may actually have chances of coming out of this with some opening initiative, which is not a given when you play this opening. Yeah, knight d5, why not? Take on e5. Rook c1, I guess. Maybe rook c1 was unnecessary. Yeah, queen c2, you can go c6, so that whole plan was a bit dumb. So simply bishop e2 looks better. I think in case of e4 I can just take on g7, ef, bishop f8, fe2, bishop e7. I think I end up material up there, so he decided to prepare e4 instead, which obviously makes a lot of sense. I'm just going to castle with e4, knight d4. Bishop f5. Why didn't he go bishop f5 immediately if that was his idea? No need to... I have such a nice position now. What should I do? Knight d2 is possible. Queen d2 is possible. I'm sure other moves that don't touch the d2 square are possible. Bishop b5 is an option though. But I'm not so sure whether I want to allow c6 and just... some simplification of the position, but yeah, I should play faster. All of this time spent talking could come back to bite me later. Playing against a young and fast opponent. Should I go d6? Nah, just go rook d1. I'm not so sure I got the maximum out of this by any means. You can take knight c6 next. It's maybe not so bad. Yeah, I've clearly spent too much time talking and too little time thinking. Queen c5, I'm trying to bail out now. Hopefully get a slightly better ending. e4, I got knight d4, so I'm not too worried about that one. But yeah, my play for sure fails to convince at this point. He did this quite cleverly. Oh boy, I don't like this. I gotta play faster, I'm completely frozen. take. Oh, this is terrible. Now I'm actually worse. I gotta give up a pawn. Wow. This is major trouble. Am I just gonna lose to this guy? No? H5, good move. This is not good. Not so sure this was a good idea. Rook c7 is coming. Now I'm objectively fine, but I've got trouble in time. I'm not sure this was a great idea. Trying to, I don't know what. Okay, at least the pawn is running. King f6 next. I'm gonna queen the pawn. Ooh. Oh, I expected king d6 for some reason. Okay, pawn is queening. Bishop s3, I got rook. Okay, I'm not gonna lose. Ah, bishop c4, that was dirty. Okay, I'm still trying to flag him. Okay. Yeah. Not happy about that one. I played like an old patzer. An old retired grandmaster. That's what I did in that game. I'm really quite ashamed. Okay, let me try another fairly high rated opponent. This time without a title. Somebody from Israel. Wow. Okay. Let me try the Scandinavian. Knight is free. Guess I gotta go bishop g4 then. Okay, let me do this just for the kicks. This is a really bad line. d3. So, I mean, the point here is usually that you go knight f6 and sack the... Yeah, you sack the bishop, but it doesn't work. If he knows what he's doing. But you can always hope that he doesn't know what he's doing. And that's what I'm banking on. Yeah, knight h4 is good, but f5. And... yeah, the game is not over quite yet. I got knight d4, then g5 is an issue, bishop b7 is a threat, knight f3 may be a threat. Yeah, bishop b7 now, c3 comes, but I got knight f3 still. I would not particularly want to be in his shoes, even though he's what is it? It's a bishop. No, it's a knight up. Even though he's a knight up and probably objectively winning. But now I got g4, and as far as I can see, I just need to get something to h6. Well, a rook to h6, and I'll win the game. The question is, can it be done? that's really... It's an interesting position in the sense that it's all about one thing. Can I mate? Can I get the rook to h6? Then I'm winning. Otherwise, I'm a knight down and I'm lost. Rook d3, obviously opening up for the bishop. And so how am I going to achieve my goal? That's the question. How am I going to do this? Maybe just bishop f8 to h6? d5 is coming. Ugh, I don't like that. Huh. Where are my ideas? I wanted also rook f8 to f4. But that doesn't work because of d5. If only I had some imagination. I actually don't see it. It's just, which is a pity. Bishop f8, d5. Yeah, I have nothing there. Okay. Guess I'll switch to some kind of flagging mode then. But I'm not sure I believe in it. Yeah, h4 is coming. But he's winning, of course. But that doesn't mean that he'll win the game. There is still, I think, serious question about the outcome of this game. Now HG is a serious threat. And this one, I guess I'll take HG. I'm just hoping for the best. I think d7 simply wins. This I'm not so sure about. Maybe mating now. d7 is always king. d8, now queen h3. Wow, that was such a mess. Good game, sir. That was not easy. Okay. Let me try